guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda. Wow, big news for all you Man United fans. You heard it. If you haven't heard it, I'm here to announce it. Man United build iconic £2 billion, 100,000 capacity stadium. Yes, you heard that right. £2 billion, 100,000 capacity stadium. Lord have mercy. What is all this? Big up to Shah United. How you doing? How do you feel about this? You're a match goer. How do you feel about this new stadium, boy? It's, well, I'm going to call it New Trafford, not Old Trafford. I mean, we're seeing images right now. It looks spectacular. Ratcliffe and the guys are doing the business. They made a big announcement now. Morning, don't like the stadium, says UK Strange. All right, we're going to ask your opinions, guys, on this. Obviously, this is like news coming out just today, in the last hour or so. It's a massive. I mean, we've currently got the biggest stadium in the UK, but we're going to go bigger. And can we fill the seats? 100,000? That's going to be one of the biggest stadiums in the world, no doubt about it. I'll just read this out for you from what I know so far. So all you guys, big up to Shah, big up to UK Strange. Man United have announced plans to build the biggest stadium in the UK. Iconic £2 billion, 100,000 seater ground close to Old Trafford. So it's going to be quite close to Old Trafford. Does anyone know exactly where that's going to be? Shah, you got any ideas about that? He's saying here, our club is done, modern, mega model, no soul. Okay. All right, there's an argument as well. Circus tent, preferred and perfect for the clowns that run the club. Very good, Grace, very good. So seems like the fans aren't happy. Once the construction is complete, the club's existing home will be demolished. Oh, no, a bit like Highbury. What, are they going to turn it into homes or something? Co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe said he wanted to build the world's greatest football stadium, which the club hopes could be finished in 5 years' time. So what we know, by 2030, guys, we could be in a new stadium. United's announcement comes after an extensive consultation process around whether to develop the existing stadium or to move to the new one. We had this debate before. It looks like people like Shah who go to the game didn't probably, I imagine Shah, he didn't want to leave, just want to refurbish Old Trafford. The club would continue to play at Old Trafford until the new stadium is ready. Okay. Well, that solves one problem, doesn't it? Because there was an issue about where would we play if the work was being done at Old Trafford. But obviously, we're going to stay at Old Trafford until the new stadium is built. Senior club sources have previously said it would not be cost effective to shrink it for use as a home for the United's women and youth teams. Architects at Foster and Partners, who will design the project, said the new stadium would feature an umbrella design. I don't like that. And a public plaza that is twice the size of Trafalgar Square. Those of you like myself from London know all about that. Let's just go through the comments. It's obviously exciting, yes, new stadium, but we need $2 billion to be spent on it. Yeah, that's a lot of money. And for players as well, we need players. Are we going to take a dip while we're building the stadium like Arsenal did? As soon as you build, as it's built, you watch the season tickets double. It's ridiculous prices, says Big G. Grace, excellent circus tents, says that. Let's continue this. The design will feature 3 masks, describes as the trident, which architects will say will be 200 meters high. Why? And will be visible from 25 miles away. I don't care about things like that. Who really cares about some stupid design 200 meters high? It's a waste of money, in my opinion. United currently $1 billion in debt. Oh, God. Are yet to say how they can plan to pay for the stadium. But Chief Executive Barada said he was confident it was a very attractive investment opportunity and was quite confident we'll find a way to finance the stadium. So they've made the announcements. They must be able to find the dough, find the money, no doubt about it. Should ask, big up Richard, he says, should have asked him yesterday why he did not pay down the debts because there's no profit in them. Okay. Big up Richard, hope you're doing well. It will form a larger regeneration of the Old Trafford area, predicted to be the biggest such project in the United Kingdom since the transformation of the Trafford's area that accompanied the 2012 Olympics in London. Chancellor Rachel Reeves has already given government backing for the plans. Okay, so they're going ahead with it. United say the entire project has the potential to create 92,000 new jobs. Will they give them season tickets? To fill the stadium. Will involve the construction of 1,700 new homes and bring an additional 1.8 million visitors to the area annually. So it's obviously a regeneration. It's going to enhance the area. I have been to Old Trafford, and the area around Old Trafford is a bit run down, to be honest. So you kind of expect kind of this kind of thing. Going to come to Shahi. He said, yes, have to be excited, but we need players that will bring the crowds in. So many season ticket holders will sell their tickets on because they don't want to go. Imagine once a stadium cap grows. And yeah, big good morning to you as well, Richard. Good morning to everybody. I don't usually say good morning because morning sounds like a funeral. I would say rise and shine, everybody. This is the Man United Agenda. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you press the like button. And let's talk all this major news about a new stadium. Tell me, guys, just come on, let it all out. How do you feel? Will they get Michael Bublé to perform there? Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a multi stadium where you can have concerts and all that kind of thing. Current stadium has served us brilliantly for 115 years. Wow. But it's fallen behind the arenas in the world sport. That's true. I mean, look at all the jokes we get about the state of the stadium, rats and leaks and all this kind of thing. Saying here, I think we may well finish up with the most iconic football stadium in the world. We're the biggest club in probably the world. We deserve that, I imagine. He said there's no date in place for when the building work on the stadium would begin. It depends on how quickly government get going with the regeneration program. I think they want to get it going quite quickly. The stadium would be built using prefabrications, shipped in 160 components along with neighbouring Manchester Ship Canal. So obviously the area is going to there's a lot of investment in the area in Manchester. Those of you who live in Manchester, none of us fans do we? But you know, this will be good for the area and probably help the area. Crystal of Old Trafford, England's biggest ground with 74,000 capacity, has grown in recent years with issues including leaks from the roof from the Bobby Charlton end. The stadium has not had significant development since 2006. That's a long time, guys. United have spoken to senior people involved in the most recent large-scale stadium developments, including of SoFi Stadium, the builders of SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, and the rebuild of Real Madrid's Bernabeu Stadium as part of their background work. So they're getting advice from other recent builders. They also spoke to local residents and conducted a fan survey. Were you part of this, guys? To establish whether supporters would prefer new build or extensive improvements to the present stadium, which they thought would likely cost 1.5 billion. So they're saying here it's going to cost 2 billion for a new stadium, but to upgrade the current stadium, Old Trafford, it would cost 1.5 billion. So there you go. Foster and Partners designed a new Wembley Stadium, which opened in 2007, and Lusail Stadium, the venue for the 2022 World Cup final in Qatar. Leaving Old Trafford will be controversial move, but former Man United manager Alex Ferguson said Man United should always strive for the best in everything it does on and off the pitch, and that includes the stadium we play in. Kind of true. I'm going to stop right there. Let's go to the comments. I've heard enough. I don't think there's anything else. Just the fans remain anxious about it, and it's going to be the world's biggest stadium as well. At the moment, we've got a stadium in India that holds 132,000. Wow. With 114,000 seats. That's the biggest. North Korea have a stadium that's got 113,000. And then you go all the way to Michigan in America, 107,000. 107,000 again in America. Ohio, yeah, America have got a lot of stadiums over 100,000. And then, yeah, I mean, we would be the biggest stadium in Europe, that's for sure. So the biggest stadiums in the world currently are in Asia and United States of America. Let's talk to you guys. What are you saying? Yeah, Michael Bublé. Similar redevelopment to the Wembley Stadium. Yes, Sean, that's true. I can see Wembley Stadium from where I live, and they've done a lot of work around there. And even around the area, there's lots of new builds and massive buildings and everything else. They've really invested in the area. Jobs for everybody, I imagine. It's a lot of investment. Jale, how you doing? So 24 hours of United news and a lot of United news. I must admit, I'm a little more on board with Ineos today than I was yesterday. There you go. There's a positive comment. There's been a few sighs, a few groans in the comments as well. But Jale saying he's a bit more on board with what Ineos are doing. This is business, guys. There is a goal here. I mean, we're not performing well on the pitch, but sometimes to sort of build, you have to take 2 steps back, and at the end of it, we're going to have a bigger stadium, and then we can start probably playing, getting the right players in. But I can imagine, just like Arsenal, when they left the Highbury and went to Emirates, they had to lose some money. They had to sell players. I imagine it could be like that. Big up to Matthew Bassett, my friend. How you doing, man? Good to see you. How do you feel about this, Matthew? The new stadium is great, but no use having a big shiny stadium and a tier 3 team on the pitch. There you go. I think that's the reality. I think you're right there, Richard. That's possibly going to be the case. I hope we don't get relegated in the next few years. Will the tent be fireproof? Says Grace. Why are we having a stupid tent? What about the Munich tunnel? Says UK Strange. See, all these questions are coming out. I am Titanium saying, big up, yeah, but just finishing watching the press conference. What a beautiful thing to wake up to. So there's another positive comment. Big up, I am Titanium. Charlie saying it's made out of metal and glass. Not sure how fireproof it is. Metal is. Let me say this. I work in a big building, and since the Grenfell fire, I mean, all new builds have to be on board with the new regulations. They're very strict about this, so I don't think there's any issues around fire. Remember the terrible fire at Bradford Stadium. Since then, there was policy was put out to make sure stadiums were safer, and no more woods and no more smoking at stadiums, is there either? So yeah, I think that's reduced. I live in Manchester, can't wait since I am Titanium. When I'm coming to stay at your house when we're watching the game. Big G saying here, look of it does look like a circus tent, to be honest. I'm no designer, but I could design it better. Yeah. I just don't, where do people get these ideas? This 3 tiers and a lot of symbolism I'm not down with, but just want a standard stadium that looks good. You know, none of this stupid thing. We used to have the Twin Towers. That was nice. They removed that. Now we're talking about circus tent. I mean, you can imagine the jokes about the playing staff will be clowns in the circus tent. Looks good says far 1994. Yeah, it does. It does. Looks very spectacular. Anyone who agrees with this, I have a question. How much did Ineos pay you? Says Grace. Yeah, there's a debate. I mean, this is all for debate. Don't worry, we'll be back this evening. Myself, Mr. B. I know there's Champions League football. We'll probably be back after the game there. Biggest stadium in Europe, but the worst team in Europe. You couldn't make this shit up, says Matthew Bassett. I am the only one who seems to be impressed by this all. Yes, Titanium, you look like you are. Don't worry, guys. We can go and support Man City. That's just a joke. Of course, it's just a joke. Matthew Bassett's replying to I am Titanium said, new stadium is good, but there are other aspects of the club that need to be addressed first. I like the use of the United Trident. It's very creative, says Jale. Does anyone else think it looks like a mosque? I don't know. Maybe, yeah, okay. I can see what you mean by that. They're getting addressed. Just be patient, says I am Titanium. Manchester's built on industrial industries. The stadium design doesn't match Manchester's background, says Big G. Well, there you go. That's massive news today. New stadium, 100,000 seater, which is crazy. And great investment in the area as well, which is important. So the Manchester area is going to be look nice and brand new. And obviously, I can imagine it'd be like a, you know, you get these Westfield shopping centres and nice hubs and concerts, and you know, it's going to be very posh and plush and clean. You know, but maybe we like Manchester gritty and grey, as we do, you know. But it's time for change. Even as Alex Ferguson said, for a club our size, we need a stadium to match, to boot. And we all agree, don't we, that the stadium is deteriorating and we need to change it fast. So come on, are you guys down with Ineos? Do you see, guys, just put that, are you down with Ineos? If you're down with Ineos, give me a hell yeah or give me a hell no. Because they're trying to make something happen here. They're trying to build, this is their biggest project. They're Nice sidelined. They're focused on Manchester United to get success. And is it more, so 2 questions to you. Are you down with Ineos? And do you think it's more to do with they want to perform on the pitch? Do you think that's the priority for them, or do you think it's about generating money to build a stadium and maybe, you know, I don't know. You know how these businessmen work. They get deals with construction companies and little, you know, hustle here, little hustle there. I don't know. So let's say, are you down? Give me a hell yeah. If you ain't down with Ineos, give me a hell no. We got a hell no from Farn. Grace is saying get Ineos, get them out. And we got I'm down, says Titanium. Here we go. Mark, how you doing, Mark Gemini? He says Man United ownership trying to make fans happy. Fan protest at the weekend. Good. Oh. And then the press release of a new stadium 24 hours after Jim Ratcliffe saying club is broke. Interesting that. That's a good, very good point. You know, this is politics at the highest level, maybe. Richard Dawkins, how you doing? No, I still think shows they want United and the brand, not the club. There you go. That's a good point. We know how business works, guys. We know how business works. For me, Ineos got 2 more years to show what they can do. They stopped us from going into the administration. So for the moment, I'm on board. So that's a good point. You know, if you say something, guys, give us a reason. Give us a bit more reasoning, a bit of explanation about why you think this way. UK Exchange saying here, how is this going to be financed? They don't actually know yet. But they're going ahead with it. They're making the announcement, but they don't actually. There's still question marks about that. 750 million pound, I think it's 1 billion debt, constant weight around the club's neck. Will fans be expected to pay for it? Who knows? Who knows? You can't have one without the other, says Farn. Yeah, this is the debate that's going to be ongoing now. Barada said United has no problem finding investors during the pressure. Guys, if one goes who watched it, it was a good watch. It was a good watch, and it's interesting. Let's hope the Sheik comes back in for the club, says Big G. We almost went broke, and the man saved us. That's back at the Grace Sheridan. So, a lot of discussion, a lot of debate to be made here, guys. Breaking news: Man United have a new stadium. Vincent Bullock, he's a match goer. How do you feel about it? New stadium, he says, reminds me of Marmite. You either love it or hate it. But looking at the building reminds you of Butlins or Centre Parks. But no nature around. It's also there's no car park. I mean, is there currently car parks? I've seen people setting up little dodgy car parks outside Old Trafford and thing. It's not really a nature reserve, is it, around Old Trafford? It's quite run down. Hopefully these plans will change with upgrades at the moment. It's looking a bit like a circus, a big circus. People are saying, yeah, they are. UK Strange saying here, the Nets are obviously to stop that crosses ended up over the railway track. Very good. Very good. We need to laugh, don't we, as Man United fans these days? It's really interesting times, and we're here present to sort of go through it with you guys. I mean, look, new stadium, worst form ever. We have to take a dip at some point. I'm going to move on because I'm going to be quick with this one. Don't worry, we'll be back later this evening. A couple other things. Talking about the debt, so I'm just going to announce what was said about the debt. Let's see here. Rick Ratcliffe on the debt said Man United would have run out of cash by the end of the year, this year, by the end of 2025, after having me put 300 million in and we buy no new players in the summer. I don't think the solution to Man United is throwing money at it. The debt will go down if we are successful with what we are doing at the moment. So let me just read that again because I don't think I read that well. So this is Jim Ratcliffe. He's saying Man United would have run out of cash by the end of this year. So the end of 25, he said we would have run out of cash. So here's Jim Ratcliffe to say by after me having put 300 million. So he's put 300 million in, and we buy no new players in the summer. And if we buy no new players in the summer, okay, so wow, we might have to sell them, not buy anyone in. Wow. I don't think the solution to Man United is throwing money at it. The debt will go down if we are successful with what we are doing at the moment. Interesting that with the stuff there. Dallo is so poor. It's unacceptable, says Iron Titanium. Will the Greatest Showman perform there? That's from Grace. Mark Gemini saying here, all conversations on social media and mainstream media have been about the stadium, not about the fact the Glazers took the club to within 8 months of bankruptcy. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's serious, isn't it? That's not cool at all. It's good to hear from the club. Yeah, they look. There's positives and negatives in these comments. We recruited early. We already have Sideshow Bob, Cersei the clown in the squad. Very good, very good. Big G, you got enough jokes, man. You make me laugh this morning. Don't expect 5, 6 new players every summer. Then says Grace, need to develop. I think they've shown that already by bringing youth players. So what is he saying? He's only going to pay for some. So he's only going to pay some payments towards the debt if we win things. So we're going to have to suffer with poor players and try and win the Premier League for him to pay the debt? Question mark. Richard's saying here, well, maybe we would not have run out of money if we did not have to pay Eric Ten Hag and Dan Ashworth off. That's like, what is it, 10 million total or something like that? Oh God. This club, man, this club. All right. I don't think we should ever do transfer shows anymore because it doesn't look like we'll be doing any transfers. But there's someone, I don't understand this, but Man United, is a rumour here from Football Insider. So Man United and Liverpool have both been keen on looking at Robinson from Fulham, the left back. He's got an asking price of 40 million. I mean, come on. We've got we've got a few left-sided players. We've got Diego Leon coming in. We brought in the new guy from Lecce, haven't we, this season? Sorry, in January. So I don't know how. Robertson's a good player, but he's 27 now, I think. So I don't, for 40 million, I don't know if that's good business. And we haven't got money anyway. Just moving on. What's the other news here? Let me just go through. Okay. Ratcliffe again on the future said in 3 or 5 years' time, United will be the most profitable club in the world football. This is interesting, isn't it? Ratcliffe said in 3 to 5 years' time, and they're saying 5 years when the stadium will be built. United will be the most profitable club in world football, so making a profit. So what does that mean? I mean, at the moment, he's saying one end he's saying at the end of this year we would have gone bankrupt, and he saved us. But then he's saying the plan is what's going to happen between now and the next 3 to 5 years to make us the most profitable club in world football. Interesting that. If you're saying making statements like this, you're going to have to explain how we're going to get there for fans to be on board with that, don't you think? Talking about the left back situation, we have Amas. So we have 3 left-sided players as well. But Amas is getting sold in the summer, I think. And that's Jale. Cheer up, you miserable lot of titanium. Really exciting when we get the new stadium. So Neil's down with it. Neil's down with it as well. It's a lot to take in, isn't it? I mean, a lot of guys have some sentimental reasons why they want to stay at Old Trafford. What a great stadium's been over the years, but obviously it's run down now. It's not working. So Neil's down with it. And Neil's been going to Old Trafford for a long time supporter. Probably out of everyone on the Man United agenda, I think Neil's been going the oldest supporter of Man United. So always good to listen to what Neil's got to say. What we need is a number 9, yeah, for sure. That's from Richard Hawkins. Well, that sounds like a £66 ticket in my eyes, says Vincent Bullock. All right, guys, there we go. So that's the big news, big announcement. Make sure you join the Man United agenda this evening. And really, by the time it sets in, I've got some time to process all this, and I'll be sort of forming my opinion about things later. I want you guys to do the same. I can't really speak on it yet. I just want to take it in. You guys have been really sort of give me a lot of insight into other things that are going on, because I hear the announcement and I also think, okay, but we were broke. We were saying we were in debt and all this kind of thing. So is this politics game going on? People are really funny in business, aren't they? So they want to put a smile in your face. They want to appease everybody, but we want to find out what's really going on, and is it going to benefit the football club? Are we going to be successful? That's the main thing on the football field. It's right saying we'd be the most profitable club, but as someone said earlier, no point having been the most profitable club. We've got a shitty football team. Excuse my language. I don't use to swear, but a really bad football team. I don't know. Clear the debt. Take the chain of the club. Take the chain of the club's neck. That's from Glazers Out, Mark Gemini. Jale saying, in my take on what Ratcliffe just said about being the most profitable club in the world, good point. Well, on the subject, he's saying here, he is turning the debt into shares and buying shares, which means he owns close to 50% of the club. See, I'm not a finance or understanding of all these sort of things. That's a good point, though. That does kind of make sense to me, what he's saying here. Thank you so much for that. Not going to watch interview with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Don't trust him. Just as bad as the Glazers. That's from Neil. But how do you feel about what they're doing and the direction you're going in? Because they're making announcements now, Neil. How does that make you feel? Vincent saying here, I'm looking forward to see Rio action on the TikTok. Rio Save Football. Okay, yeah, guys, make sure you check out Rio Saves Football. He's coming on the show soon as he gets himself set up. Rio's been in the chat recently. If you're on TikTok, make sure you check him out. He does some good things on TikTok, and Vincent's a fan, and Vincent follows him. I follow him too. And if you want to keep up to date with what's going on, check him out. Check out these local, rather than the big stations and the big podcasts and all that kind of thing. Help us out. Help out the small guy. Watch it. Is very excited, says Neil. So I'm Titanium talking about the interview. And some debt can be a good thing because you don't pay tax on debt. I'm learning every day. However, the current level of debt is ridiculous. It's a massive tax dodge by the Glazers, says Big G. Old Trafford is old and small. Seats cramped together. A new stadium makes sense, says Fun. All right, what makes sense is me getting off to work because I'm supposed to start in 5 minutes. It takes me about 20 minutes to get there. I'm here with you guys. So, guys, thank you so much. And this has been the afternoon or early morning news update show with some great news, some big news about a great new stadium, the biggest one in Europe, no doubt about it, coming up. So Man United will have 100,000 seat stadium in 5 years' time. I hope you guys are excited about it. Big up to Richard Hawkins, big up to Farm, big up to Neil Driscoll as well. Vincent Bullock, big up to I Am Titanium, Jarley, Grace, Sarah Sheridan, Mark Gemini, UK Strange, Big G. I hope I'm not missing one. Farm 1994. Who else we've got here in the house? Matthew Bassett, Matty Bassett, how you doing, man? And Shah United as well. All you guys that are tuned in today, thank you so much. Make sure you share and like, and if you want to chat in the comments afterwards, we will respond. But don't forget Champions League football today, so we might be on after the game. What we say, it seems like greybeards are in, guys. Yeah, you see, I've got a bit of grey. It's a beautiful thing. My girlfriend loves it. I love it too. There's no point. You got to embrace these things. You know what they say? When you got a beard, you can stroke it like you got wisdom, and especially when you got a grey beard as well. Have you seen that kung fu film with what's his name? Shin Pai. You know the one. Oh no, he's in Kill Bill as well, where he's got the beard and just like that. I love that. I love that. I've always wanted to do that. So there we go. Let me just stroke this and show how wise I am. Anyway, let's get on with the day, guys. Make sure you check out the Man United agenda later tonight. Mr. B and myself will be here, and hopefully there'll be more news and developments back there by then. So from me, Yabba Forbes, for the Man United agenda, from all your agenda-ites as well, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back later tonight. Thank you.